Hi everybody. Okay, I am on today because I have a new series that popped in my head to do while I was sick, and so I said, well, why not go ahead and start today since you have so many other things to do today? Why not? So I am going to do a series, and I don't think it's going to be very long. I think it's going to be about 4 videos max, but they are going to be my reading first. So today I'm going to start with my first horror story. My first horror story was the Amityville Horror. I read the Amityville Horror when I was about 10 years old. That novel absolutely scared the shit out of me. There's no other way to say it. How did I end up reading the Amityville Horror? I had time to kill, and I decided I was going to go look on my mom and my stepdad's bookshelves to see what they had, and I saw the Amityville Horror, and I had heard about the movie at that point, and so I said, well, why don't I just read the book? Because they're not going to let me see the movie, but I can sneak and read the book, and they won't know that I read the book. Yeah, my ass got what I deserved. I don't even remember if I finished the book. I think I finished it just because I did not want the book to punk me. But it punked me. I remember it gave me the worst nightmares. I had nightmares for about 2 weeks while I was reading the book. I don't even remember the details. This is how bad it is. I don't even remember the details of the book that well, but I remember my nightmares. That's how just much it jacked me up. And I remember one nightmare was so bad that I got my 9 or 10-year-old butt out of the bed, ran to the top of the steps, and called my mama's name in the middle of the night. And she comes to the bottom of the steps, and I remember thinking, I can't even tell you why I'm up in the middle of the night or why I had a nightmare, because I'm not supposed to be reading the book. I can't tell you what the nightmare was about because I'm not supposed to be reading the book. So I remember standing at the top of the steps, and I said, I had a nightmare. And I went back in the room and got back in the bed. God, that book it jacked me up. I never saw, you know how kids, when they have night lights, they have, they see the shapes of the animals or their stuffed animals on the walls, and it scares them. That never scared me. I used to make, when I would see shapes or when I would move, I used to play in the night light and make up little stories to tell myself as I went to bed about how my animals were on the beach, like my animals were in Gilligan's Island, or my animals were in Green Acres. The shapes on the wall did not become scary until I read Amityville Horror. After that, I stopped sleeping with a nightlight. That's how scary they got. So I don't think I will ever read that book again. That's why I'm I don't remember the details of the book, but the Amityville Horror is the only horror movie that I can watch and not get scared. I don't like horror movies at all. When I was a kid, my friends used to make me watch the Freddy Krueger things. To this day, the Freddy Krueger song, I don't even want to hear what the actual kid version of the song is. Don't play it. As a result of reading Amityville Horror, though, I read other horror novels and I'm fine. Nothing can compare to the mental screw that was the Amityville Horror for a prepubescent child. Nothing can compare to that. And I still didn't learn my lesson because I still went and picked things off of my parents' shelf. That was my first horror novel experience. After I read the Amityville Horror, I read a book called The Dollhouse Murderers, which was actually a kid's book. That book was good. I mean, it was scary, but it was so good. I liked that book so much. The Dollhouse Murderers was a book about a girl who goes to her grandmother's house, and I can remember that one, but I can't remember the Amityville Horror. That's funny. But it's about a girl who goes to her grandmother's house, and she finds this dollhouse in the attic. Don't play with stuff in the attic. And she starts playing with it, and the dolls come to life, and they start to reenact the murder that took place in the grandmother's house, because the dollhouse is a replica of the grandmother's house. They reenact the murder that took place in the house years and years and years before, and the little girl has to try to figure out how to solve the murders or to stop the murders from happening again. One of those two things. I still read horror novels to this day. I do not like horror movies. So, yeah, that is my first horror book experience. Peace out.